We got to win within the confines of the rules that were set forth for us to win. And only through Yeshua, Jesus Christ, do we have victory. Because he is the one who died on the cross. He is the one who shed his blood that we might be saved, that we might have an opportunity to enter into life after we pass through this place called life. Because not everybody that's living is alive, y'all. This place called life, this place that we are in right now is just a it's like a portal that we are only passing through for a very short moment, and then we enter into reality, y'all. Okay, so we got to remain in a conscious mindset in everything that we do and in every way that we conduct ourselves in this life. Okay, we as a people, we need to begin to live our lives with a purpose in mind and teaching our children that they have a purpose too. We all understand there's a struggle, okay? But we don't all understand what the struggle is. The struggle is not in the fact that there might not be equal opportunities. That's not where the struggle is at. The struggle is not that we are not treated equally or the other nations don't see us as an equal. That's not where the struggle is at. The struggle is not in that, Ray may not be making as much as Tom doing the same position at the same job. That is not the struggle, you see. The struggle is within ourselves, brethren and sisters. We got to understand that instead of living our lives with a independent, I got to get mine attitude, I got to get my respect, I got to get my dignity, you need to recognize me mentality, we need to have more of an interdependent, cultured mindset one unto another. Therefore, if you are a boxer, okay, then box with the intention that one day you're going to take all your money and have your own association, band together with other boxers who understand the struggle that we have. We got to, y'all, we have to create opportunities for ourselves. No one is stopping us from doing this except ourselves. See, Elder Rakhar of the Gathering of Christ Church, he mentioned this when they were having the shut-ins, when the football players were shut out. All them brothers is making all them millions of dollars. They did not need the NFL association in order to play football. They should have all boycotted, every last one of them. Every single football player should have immediately quit playing football because they was trying to make an example out of a few of the football players. Everybody should have banded together at that point in time, because then the association would have went bankrupt. Nobody's going to pay them to watch football if there are no players. You see, that's how we demand respect. And that's how we show our children how you band together to create the type of respect that one deserves and that one desires, you see. Teach our children, teach our little football players and our little basketball players, right? And our little boxers Go ahead and play football, get that money, and then take your money and turn that money around. Learn the financial aspects of the business. Learn the politics behind the business. Learn the rules in the arena of that business. And then turn that thing around and get your own NFL team, your own NFL network. Get your own basketball team and your own basketball network. You see? Band together with other young sisters and brothers who have the same mindset, the same desire, and create your own associations for your people, creating opportunities for your people, creating the ability for them to be able to work in that field and obtain the respect that they deserve and that they desire. You see, bankrupting the other nations because they can't have football teams without our players. They can't have basketball teams without the basketball players. So we would take all the basketball players, we would take all the football players. Likewise, if your children are going to school to become doctors, lawyers, it doesn't matter. If they're going to school to be financial advisors, open up your own firms, open up your own doctors, medical establishments and facilities and associations, you see. Open up your own transportation systems. Open up your own, insurance agencies and whatever it is, banks, just like the brethren did during the Harlem Renaissance, during the Black Wall Street. You see the difference between the brethren then and the brethren now. They understood that there was a struggle, but you see, they were physically bound. And then when they were loosed, they were still mentally stable and able to invent, create, obtain, acquire, grow, band together. And they had mansions on every block, okay? On every street in Black Wall Street, y'all. And brothers and sisters was laid out. They understood how to network, okay? How to work one with another. They did not fight each other. They did not argue one with another. They worked together. And that's how they were able to create that magnificent time in history. That when those brothers of another nation got off those airplanes from World War, and they saw how lavish these people were living and how poor their people were living, what did they do? Man, they hijacked that situation. They bombed up Tulsa, Oklahoma, and those beautiful people, and they stole all of the gold from the tapestries in buckets, collected all of the gold, from the shillings in the roof and the nails and the silverware. It was goldware in Black Wall Street, y'all. Okay? So we got to get back to this place within ourselves, but we got to first understand that the struggle is not with each other, and our struggle is not with the nations. Our struggle is with ourselves. We got to come back to the Most High God, who will give us the ability to think. He helps us to plan, you see. He is the mighty counselor. He counsels us, okay? He gives us our desires. He helps us. He guides our steps. He leads us in our paths and makes sure that we are the head and not the tail, that we are blessed and that everything we put our hand to is also blessed. And that's how that works. Okay? So we have to fight with the intention of building our own communities. So those of you who are homeschooling, you can easily teach your children how to do this. Okay? You can teach them about financing. Okay? You can begin to teach them how to invest, how to get the greatest return on an investment. What are the best opportunities to invest in? Okay? How to save, how to buy and sell property. You can teach your children in homeschool how to respect each other, okay? How to love themselves and their people. You can teach them the importance of owning their own businesses and begin uh, to guide them and lead them in that directive mindset of one day creating society, one day creating government, one day establishing, bigger businesses, having your own grocery stores, having your own hair shops with clean hair products, okay? Having your own banks, having your own investment firms, okay? You can begin to teach your children in homeschool how to acquire the wisdom that it takes to begin to enter into occupations where they can get the greatest amount of wages, you see, for the least amount of hours. In this society, we're taught that the more you work, the more you get paid. That's a poor man's mentality. But when you homeschool, or even if you're not homeschooling, but it's usually when you're homeschooling, because when you're not homeschooling, your child got to go all the way up until the 12th grade. But if you're homeschooling, you ain't got to make your children go all the way up until 12th grade, because the fact of the matter is that from 9th grade to 12th grade, your children are learning exactly the same thing every single year, every single year. They just add on the smallest little amount from year to year. But you can teach your children everything they need to know up until the point of that they're 15. And then at 15, send your children to vocational schools from 15 to 17. Bam, they just acquired a skill. From 17 to 19, bam, they just acquired 2 skills. That way, by the time they're 19, they can go out into the workforce and begin flooring, laying hardwood floors, making, $5,000 a job. You lay down wood, a hardwood floor in a small room, you charge, $3,000-$4,000 for that job. You do 4 or 5 of those, in a week. That's good money. You see? And while you go into vocational school learning those trades, you can actually have your children volunteering for that particular occupation during that time. So they're also getting what? Hands-on training, skills, obtaining the mastery of that particular skill that they're obtaining. That therefore, when they get out into the world and they're ready to do that particular skill on their own, they are going to do it in perfection. Okay? So it was just something that was on my mind, on my heart. When I saw that interview, it immediately dawned on me what could have been done to make that a more positive experience for the reporter, for Brother Wilder, and for the viewing audience. What do you think?